All right. Just wanted to do a little bit of a recap video for the day today. Um, I woke up this morning thinking it was Wednesday, and so I went down to the store, pick up a few things, and I had a lovely walk because it was really quiet and the store was open, grocery store, and uh, I enjoyed the day. And I came back and realized it was Thanksgiving. According to the conventional understanding of the day, and so it made sense why it was so quiet, and I enjoyed it. So I'm happy. I kind of got a little confused this morning as to what day it was, because had I thought it was Thanksgiving, I wouldn't have. I thought everything was closed. So that was a nice treat, and I'm happy it started out very gentle this morning. Um, it was a what to say? A bit of a Thanksgiving, Columbus Day, 4th of July. All of these days are really rough, rough days for those of us who have Native ancestry uh, on this land. And so, every year it's rough. Uh, but I just, uh, go with it. I'm here, and I embrace the opportunity for the healing and the transformation. That's a part of my destiny, and I always say the earth gets us to where she wants us to be, to do our work with her. At least for me, I know that to be the case, and so I just embrace this process, and so it's been almost 2 years now, living here in this area, and it's always the energy of this place has always been very heavy and painful for me. Um, and but I go into it, uh, deeper and trust trust the divine design of how my life is unfolding, and the gifts and the treasures that are within that. If I stay with the process. So so now this is the second Thanksgiving that I've spent here in this area, and I grew up, where I did, up near the Great Lakes, Lake Superior, and maybe because those winters were so brutal and long. Um, though there was, the genocide of the Anishinaabe, and there was still, how to put it, there wasn't the complete, Well, we didn't have the Spanish influence up there. And so it was mostly the Catholic Church. That Wisconsin, Minnesota, especially Wisconsin, Minnesota. I don't know, there was a little bit more of the Scandinavian. There was more of a Scandinavian influence in the settlers, and it wasn't as aggressive in the elimination of the native population. And there was a little bit more, somewhat, I don't know if assimilation is the right word, but assimilation is probably a better word. If there were many natives who picked up the kind of the European, which was the case, with some of my grandparents who were racially blended, and adopted the more European approach, both through lumberjacking and farming in that regard. And so it was interesting. But here in this area, number one, being around all these mills, both my grandfathers worked in the lumbering trade. The turn of the late 1800s, mid 1900s, and pretty much clear cut the white pine. In the Wisconsin area, and then turn that into farmlands. Cleared it, and turned it into farmlands. Around here, it's very different. Much more aggressive, because we had the gold rush. I say we, but the devastation and the greed and the insanity of the the colonization of both the missions that came up from the south, and then the, what do they call that? The wagon trains and everything that came from the east and came across. Boy, these lands. So it's the genocide and the destruction of the indigenous of this area was far more devastating than, I mean, 90% genocide to 98% genocide reflections was the difference. Here, this was almost complete genocide here, and elimination. But some of them are still around, and so I was listening to some of the Miwok and a few who are left speak. Some of the elders who were able to hold on to the language and the traditions and the spirituality. Jesus, it's painful. And so But it is time. It's time now for the resurrection and the rebirth. But it's not going to go back. It's going to be for those who, how to put it? It's kind of interesting because of all the forestry land here in Northern California, Oregon, Washington, and all up into Vancouver, and then to the east. Oh, east is that way, west is that way. To the east of here. There's still a lot. How to put it? It's not as densely populated and devastated as a lot of the lands south and along the coast and closer to the Mississippi on the other side of the Dakotas. There's enormous changes going to, are in the midst now. And there's going to be a new, it's the old structures of the slavery and the domination and extraction, rape of the people and the earth, and genocide. It's at its end. And those of us who are here, and it's including some of the offspring of the settlers as well who are here, who don't want to perpetuate the evils of their, even though they benefited from it, the evils of their parents and grandparents, and who want to bring balance and healing for the generations to come. They want to heal, and so they're looking for the healing as well. The gentle souls. Some of us are, of blended ancestry, like myself, was ancestors from all over the place, and but not of this land. Now, I do know of former incarnations on this land where I asked Great Spirit to help me heal the rage that I had and the unforgiveness of the conquistadors and the settlers who came in and just devastated my people. I am aware of that, and so I think that's might be part of the reason why I'm here in this incarnation now, to bring about the healing full circle and to allow the help. And the forgiveness. And then eventually the metamorphosis and the transcendence. Because there is going to be, the old systems have to fall apart. And we have to heal, the destruction. And justice has to be served. But it doesn't have to be a punitive justice. It's a restorative justice. And it's a healing justice. And it has to be balanced. And And that's the time we're in, and that's the opportunity we have, the gifts that we have. And so in this in-between time today, as I try to, I shouldn't say try, as I am, continuing to heal and transform and receive the healing, receive the vision, of the future, the future generations who are going to be a part of the healing of, yes, the Sasquatch and the multidimensional people who have been here, who want to work with us, both the little people, nature spirits, and the Sasquatch, the giants, who are a part of this and who can move in and out of the dimensions here on this plan, and who are helping us to anchor the healing and the changes. It's really with that I am hopeful. I'm raw. Oh my God. Raw and still healing and taking it slow, but also hopeful. I know the siblings of destiny and those who are to be a part of that, to be a part of this healing, are going to come we're going to come together, and it's destined. It's destined. And so with that, like I say, I'm still going through my personal process. Healing, forgiving, receiving the healing, and then receiving the gifts of that healing and of that vision that's destined. And so with that, I will say, Satnam, Vaheguru, Chi Miigwech, many blessings.